Hi, I'm Mike Glavin with City Floor Supply, and today on Facebook Live we're going to talk and do some EasyWhey color system. Here EasyWhey has brought out this VOC-free way of developing color, and that is significant. When we're talking about somebody who wants no solvent. This is a very unique system, and so we're going to show today the different ways because it is a unique application method as well. You can use this EasyWhey color system on freshly sanded wood. If you wanted to develop your color from a freshly sanded, newly installed floor, the first thing that you would need to do is apply 2 coats of the Polyway 3000 sealer, then get it denibbed with their yellow sand dollar, and then start applying whatever color you would like. The EasyWhey color system comes in 6 colors. There's a white, a gray, an oak, a cherry, a walnut, and an ebony. You can mix those colors together to get your custom color. One of the things about this is that this applies at a rate of 1,000 square feet per quart. Okay, this is a quart container, 32 fluid ounces, 1,000 square feet. That's very different than the finishes. So your application of a very thin coat, and you're going to put on multiple thin coats to develop your color. If you wanted to change on a pre-finished floor, change the color, that's a common request. That this solves that problem, because if you wanted to do that before, you had to sand the floor. If you have a pre-finished floor and you want to change the color, you prep the floor by using their deep clean. This is mixed, right? So this is a concentrate deep clean. It's 3 to 1. 1 part cleaner, 3 parts water. We mixed it in here, spray bottle. You spray that on the floor, and you come back with your red sand dollar. So what you're doing is you're deep cleaning that floor with the on a pre-finished floor. Red sand dollar. Then you'll come back after it's been all scrubbed, and then just tack and clean up and rinse with the regular cleaner, right? Spray it on and clean. And we did that on that floor there. On a pre-finished floor, which is what we're showing here on this panel, is you then want to put on a coat of the 3500, and we're just going to put a coat of 3500 semi-gloss on the floor. Joe's going to do that right now. Joe's my application guy, and he's going to start, and he's going to pull a coat of 3500 on this pre-finished panel, because we want to do these things in stages. We didn't want to show you a lot of wait time in this preparation.
The one thing, tell them about any floors with Teflon finish in them.
Okay.
Teflon in the finish.
That is a great point. Pre-finished floors that have like Scotchgard or some type of Teflon coating, so that it's like the anti-staining type finish on them. Those finishes will not take this color system. It will bead right off, and we tested it, and it surely does. So you won't get adhesion. So one thing to do is just do a simple test to show you that would do. You could not even take color. This is a bonding. It's a clear EasyWhey product. You take a little bit on a rag, and if this, in your test, if this does not wet out and stay uniform on the substrate, then this isn't a good system for you. That is, the floor should be sanded and then build your color from there. So Joe's going to apply the 3500 Polyway finish, and this is a unique finish. This Polyway system has awesome properties of adhesion, as well as being a single component, very high wear, high level performant finish. We put this on as the most bonding system for you know, what we're doing here on this pre-finished floor.
It says, like Mike was saying, the Polyway system and the EasyWhey system. The EasyWhey system uses the same way technology that Norton, Vermont have in their 3500 and 2500 series finishes. And what Mike is saying is 100% correct. You know, the bonding properties of Polyway are outstanding, and anybody that's applied it and has sealed up a can for the night and come back the next day to put a second or third coat down, they know how hard it is to get that lid off, because that product really does bond well. This is just a white oak herringbone floor that we prepped with the deep cleaner. And again, I know we do these things, no walls. We're 4x8 panel All-Americans, but with limitations, we're still get to show you how well these things apply, how nicely they set up, how nicely they wet out. No foaming, just really, really nice product. Now, after this application, we'll let this dry. What's the time frame, Mike? Overnight?
Yeah, it was several hours, and then you can come back and put the Polyway system on it, color system on it.
So you'll see as we move down these panels, we've prepped ahead. Obviously, on a pre-finished panel, like Mike was saying, or a pre-finished floor, this is what you're going to want to do first after you deep clean it and then regular clean it. And then the EasyWhey product on top of this for more color. So for instance, say the homeowner, after this floor was wetted out and finished, after you stained it white, they wanted it more white. Well, you could take the EasyWhey product now and develop several layers of white color on top of this without having to resand it, to restain it, open the grain and get it dark, you know, a brighter white. So that's how this product is going to work for you. You're going to add color in layers, and we're going to show you that now. We're going to hop over to this panel that we've coated with ebony, and we've already got a clear down.
We put the bonding agent down first.
And that's down here.
And that's here.
Where the tape is.
And then we put one coat of the ebony color with this applicator. And I just wanted to show them, okay, this has been already shaken up and whatnot, but I'm just going to add a little bit for demonstration purposes. We're just going to pour into this application tool. Now, as I told you, this goes far. It's already got some in it. And now Joe's going to apply on that panel that's already been started.
So the applicator is great. It releases the EasyWhey in measured amounts. Stop and start button is at the top for easy control. Put the fluid hose down so that it's in the area where you're going to be pulling. And again, like Mike was saying, wet out the applicator. This is the same applicator we used from this morning to prep these. So all we're going to do is wet that applicator out. And again, we're looking at a second coat of ebony on this product. And we're just looking to get darker, develop. Anybody that's coated with what's that mix, Mike? Jacobine and True Black, or Jacobine and dark walnut. Something that gives you that brown black mix is a very popular color these days, and that's what we're trying to develop here. And then when we get over to the white panel, we will come back to this so that you can see the original clear bonding coat versus 2 coats of the ebony. And you may even be able to see what's off to my left, your right, was the actual original color, but water popped. What do you think?
Yep.
Good?
Good. All right, so you see that that's a unique applicator in that it has a special pad on the bottom, and I'm just going to grab the...
You got one?
Yeah. It's a dirty one, but used. But it's a special pad on that applicator that comes with something that you should purchase with the EasyWhey system. If you're doing a large project, you definitely want to use this tool because it just makes it easier. And as you see here, we got 2 of them staged and ready to go. This pad has a little nibs on it that makes it, this microfiber pad makes it easier to apply this finish so that it lays out in very thin, very uniform coat. So what's getting applied on this panel is white, and Joe's going to apply it. Now we can't show you because we coated the full panel, so we can't show you the stages, but it is something that moldable coats are what you are going to be using. So you can put up to 4 coats, and the first coat you barely see color, but on the second and third and then even 4th coat, you do see a tremendous change, and it's in that glazing effect. You get a very unique and uniform color with this system. So Joe's going to apply the white, and again, we're using that very unique applicator, just getting it wetted out. And the idea again is,
I mean, really can't stress it enough, right? Thin.
Yeah.
This needs to be thin. So we've coated this with a pigmented finish sealer from another company, just to demonstrate that. And we ended up coating this one after we cleaned it with the 3500, and then we went straight with the Norton Vermont EasyWhey White. Now that trigger, unless you depress it a second time, is going to be putting fluid down. So obviously we're finished, guys. We're going to have turn marks. We're going to finish this just like you would any water-based application with the grain as best we can. I know, no walls, forget it. Now, as we develop color, this will get whiter and whiter, and it'll still be transparent, but we'll be able to develop a nice frosted white or a pickled color as we continue on applying these coats. 1 hour between each coat, and that's key. If you get on this too early, you will pull this product. So an hour on 90 degrees, 90% relative humidity in the mid-Atlantic here, maybe it's 2 hours, but definitely give it the dry time that it needs. Again, we just wrap these applicators in a plastic bag, and they'll be fine for the entire job. And it's a great way to develop color. Two key points Mike brought up at the end of that first section. You have to make sure that any pre-finished floor is void of all Teflon additives. So that product cannot, and there are a lot of them out there, but there are some that don't have it. So particularly if it's a floor that you've coated 10 years ago, it's a great product to come in, refresh it, bring it back to life, and develop color thin, even, and very easy.
So let's say the customer says, boom, that's exactly the color I was looking for. Great. Your last step, you're not done. The color coat then needs to be top coated. So you can use the 2500 series Polyway or the 3500 series Polyway. But you want to apply 1 to 2 coats over top of the color that you just applied. So very simple system, as you see. Not complicated to apply, and then you're going to put a finish coat on top of it. So just to rehash and summarize, what we were talking about today, the EasyWhey Polyway Color System is a non-VOC way of developing color on a floor that gives you something that is very unique because it is very uniform. And you can do it on freshly sanded, on old floors to change the color, or on a pre-finished floor that, again, they wanted to change the color. It's just using the preparation technique of the deep clean along with the regular cleaner by using the red sand dollar. And these sand dollars are awesome for giving you a very uniform scratch without giving you swirls, and anything that gets moved off the substrate kind of goes into the center and doesn't build up on the pad. So they've got it all figured out with that applicator. That's another key part of this system, in that lets you apply, because 1,000 square feet per quart is way different than what we're used to. Hey, are there any questions? Please do send them in, and we'll get back to you either live or when you get to it and when we see it. So thank you. And if there's any suggestions that you would like to see on Facebook Live as far as demonstration, do tell us. We like doing this, and it's good product information. There's a lot of new technology that's available and out there that we certainly want to show people.